Germany rebuilt itself more than once. Empires collapsed, borders changed, yet something deeper remained. Although, introduction, the pattern beneath the ruins. Few countries in Europe have experienced as many dramatic transformations as Germany. Kingdoms rose and fell. Empires appeared and disappeared. Borders shifted again and again. The Holy Roman Empire dissolved. The German Empire collapsed after the First World War. The country was divided after the Second. And yet, something in German society endured. Cities rebuilt themselves. Institutions reformed. Structures returned. Observers often focus on political events, wars, revolutions, treaties, but historians sometimes suggest that deeper cultural mechanisms may have shaped Germany's repeated recoveries, not visible in official declarations, but present in habits, in institutions, in expectations passed quietly from generation to generation. Some researchers argue that Germany's resilience may be connected to several long-standing traditions, rarely described as traditions at all. Invisible systems, patterns of organization, ways of thinking about order, responsibility, and structure. Understanding modern Germany may require looking beyond dramatic events and toward these quieter forces. Official historical background. In the conventional historical narrative, Germany's modern identity emerges in the 19th century. Before that period, the region consisted of hundreds of smaller states, principalities, free cities, duchies. Many of them belonged loosely to the Holy Roman Empire, a complex political structure that existed for nearly 1,000 years. This decentralized environment shaped the early development of German political culture. In 1871, after a series of conflicts led by Prussia, the German Empire was officially unified. For the first time, most German-speaking territories were brought together under a single national state. The empire lasted until the end of the First World War. After defeat in 1918, Germany transitioned into the Weimar Republic. Political instability followed. Then came the rise of the National Socialist regime in the 1930s and the devastation of the Second World War. By 1945, much of Germany lay in ruins. Cities destroyed, industry dismantled, society fractured. The country was divided into East and West, each following different political systems during the Cold War. Yet after reunification in 1990, Germany once again emerged as one of Europe's most stable and influential nations. Historians generally attribute this trajectory to economic reform, democratic institutions, and international cooperation. These explanations are supported by historical evidence, but some scholars suggest that deeper cultural patterns may also have contributed to Germany's ability to rebuild, patterns that developed long before modern politics. Mindrin. Mystery 1. The tradition of structure. Observers of German society often notice a recurring theme: structure, orderly cities, precise infrastructure, detailed systems of administration. Some historians suggest that this emphasis on structure may have deep historical roots. In many German regions during the medieval period, governance relied on highly organized legal frameworks. Guild systems regulated crafts. Town charters defined local authority. Legal codes standardized procedures. Over time, this produced a culture in which rules were not simply restrictions, but tools for coordination. Some researchers believe that this cultural comfort with structured systems helped German institutions recover quickly after periods of disruption. When structures collapsed, they could be rebuilt, because the concept of structured organization was already deeply embedded into Mystery 2: The culture of apprenticeship. One of Germany's most distinctive social traditions is its long-standing apprenticeship system. Even today, vocational training remains a central part of the country's educational model. Young people often combine classroom instruction with hands-on professional experience. This system developed gradually across centuries. Medieval guilds required apprentices to learn directly from experienced craftsmen. Skills passed from master to student. Generations built knowledge, step by step. Some historians suggest that this tradition reinforced a cultural respect for expertise. Skill was not simply admired, it was expected to be developed carefully over time. When societies value technical knowledge and practical competence, institutions may become more resilient, because expertise remains distributed across many individuals, not concentrated in a few. Mystery 3: Administrative memory. Germany is often associated with highly developed administrative systems. Detailed records, carefully organized archives, complex bureaucratic structures. The roots of this system may stretch far into early European governance. Some scholars argue that German territories developed unusually strong traditions of record-keeping. Administrative continuity allowed institutions to preserve knowledge even during political upheaval. Laws could be revised, systems could be adapted, but the memory of how institutions functioned often remained intact. This continuity may have helped German governance recover after major disruptions. Because rebuilding did not always require starting from nothing, institutional memory persisted. Mystery 4: Regional identity. Germany is frequently described as a unified nation, but historically, regional identity remained extremely important. Bavaria, Saxony, Baden, Prussia. Each region preserved its own traditions, local pride, local customs, local governance structures. Some historians suggest that this strong regional identity may have acted as a stabilizing force. When national structures collapsed, local communities continued to function. Regional institutions maintained continuity. Rather than relying entirely on a single national framework, German society often operated through layered identities: local, regional, and national. This distributed resilience may have allowed recovery to occur from multiple directions at once. Mystery 5: Discipline as social expectation. Many observers associate Germany with the concept of discipline. Not necessarily imposed discipline, but internalized expectations about responsibility and reliability. Some researchers believe these habits developed gradually through social institutions. Schools emphasized punctuality and organization. Workplaces valued precision. Civic systems relied on mutual trust that rules would generally be followed. Over time, these expectations may have shaped collective behavior. When social systems rely on predictable conduct, cooperation becomes easier, institutions function more smoothly, and rebuilding becomes possible even after severe disruption. Discipline, in this sense, becomes less about control and more about coordination. Conclusion: the quiet continuity. Germany's history is often told through dramatic events: unification, war, division, reunification. These events certainly shaped the country's development, but beneath them, quieter patterns may have continued. Systems of structure, respect for expertise, administrative memory, regional resilience, cultural discipline. None of these traditions alone explains Germany's modern stability, but together they form a network of habits and expectations that may have influenced how German society rebuilt itself. Some historians caution against drawing simple conclusions. History rarely follows a single cause, yet many scholars agree on one observation. When institutions collapse, societies with deep cultural systems often recover more effectively. Structures may change, governments may evolve, but certain patterns remain. Institutions evolve, discipline remains. This video explores history and disputed theories for educational purposes.